good finish today at Easter Road. No away side had won this fixture since April 2014. There for us was Rob McLean.
Hibs are without injured Lewis Stevenson, and there are 3 away on Australian international duty. 2 20-year-olds start, Sean Mackey and Ollie Shaw. Hearts add a defender in Clevid Dikamona and an extra midfielder in Sean Clare. Callum Morrison and Stephen McLean are on the bench. The last Edinburgh derby of 2018. Haring intercepts. Lee on the move. That's Naismith looking for Peter Haring. Kept alive by Lee, and Slivka gets an important touch as Hearts threatened to open the scoring, and this just bounced away from Haring at the crucial moment. Great run by Mackey, full of energy. Now Slivka keeps up the momentum. Darryl Horgan with a chance to play this in for Ollie Shaw, and he has to be really disappointed with that. A chance for Hearts at one end, and immediately Hibs responding at the other. Shaw misses the target. Neil Lennon looking to keep up the trend of home wins in the derby. Ollie Lee with the corner kick, he rolls it for Michael Smith. Bogdan claws that away. Mackey gets it further clear. Straight off the training ground this, and Smith could have done better. Naismith keeps possession under pressure. Zoom for Clare. Ollie Lee wrestling himself clear of Paul Hanlon. What about that from Ollie Lee? 15 games without a goal, and then this on Derby Day in Edinburgh. Unstoppable. 28 minutes gone at Easter Road. Lee's 5th goal for Hearts. 1-0. Mallon's free kick. That's Whittaker. Good save, Colin Doyle. Just needed to be a little bit further away from the goalkeeper to be levelling things up. Hibs hoping to be a whole lot better in this second half, but immediately Hearts on the attack. McGregor under pressure, and Naismith got the left foot volley away. Back in from Clare and away by Ambrose, and immediately after the restart, Hearts threatening again. Bogdan made the save. Here goes Ambrose. Cut out by Garuccio. Given away by June. Hibs in a hurry. Chasing a leveller. McGregor with the knockdown. Ollie Shaw with a great hit. Almost caught out Doyle with that half volley which clips the crossbar. Ambrose doing the defending. Bozanic nods it forward. Naismith wins it. Through goes Clare. And he couldn't quite get enough on the shot to squeeze this past Adam Bogdan. Ben Garuccio for Arno Jeux. Mallon's header. Ambrose. That's dangerous. Naismith. And Sean Clare could be in here. Across goes Ambrose. Down goes the Hearts midfielder. And that is a yellow card for diving. Yes, there was contact, but not enough to send him down. That's the view of Kevin Clancy. Ambrose plays it in. Stephen Naismith doing the defending. McGregor for Whittaker! Agonisingly close. He thought he'd equalised. It was some strike. Fingertips from Colin Doyle. What a save. Ambrose lofts it in for Hanlon. That came off a combination of Naismith and Michael Smith. Hearts hanging on at 1-0. Mallon with the corner kick. Ambrose tried to get there. David Gray as well. Scrambled clear. Was there a pull on Emerson Hindman by Jake Mulroney? The Hibs fans making lots of noise. And Mallon with the shot, which is straight at the goalkeeper. But should Hibs have had a penalty here for the challenge of Mulroney on Hindman?
We lost the goal to a quality strike, and then we've sort of with a bit of grease paint, that cost us an equaliser. But it wasn't a poor performance by any means. I thought we really tried to force the game, particularly second half. But it's been an aspect of our play first half of the season. Our strikers haven't been firing, and that needs to be addressed.
Obviously I'm delighted to have won. We had to show a bit of resilience towards the end of the match, particularly when Lenny threw McGregor up front and they sort of bombarded us. But all credit to the boys, they managed to see that out with a couple of good saves from Colin Doyle. So yeah, I thought we just edged it, but it was another really close match.
Now, after the match, a 65-year-old man was arrested and charged in connection with the racial abuse of a Hearts player. He'll appear in court at a later date. Michael Stewart, you were there. Hearts now 6 points off the top of the table. Were they deserved winners?
Yeah, I think you heard Craig Levine saying that it was a tight match, and I think it was. But Hearts got the upper hand in this middle of the park, the 4 against the 3, and Ollie Lee driving from that right-hand side into offensive areas and getting plenty of bodies forward was the theme of the game for me. Again, you see that Hibs midfield 3. The midfield 4 from Hearts, again getting up in support of Stephen Naismith. Ollie Lee down that right side channel, getting bodies into the box, and it meant that Hearts were on the front foot. Hibs were constantly having to try and fight and battle. The Hibs 3 against the 4 again, and then once they won the ball back, time to pass the play, good interchange, and see the space eventually opening up for Ollie Lee. I just felt as if Hibs didn't get the balance right in the side, and this was the goal eventually. See Ollie Lee driving from the midfield, running forward. Paul Hanlon eventually gets far too tight and doesn't get physical enough when he's that tight, and it's a wonderful take and turn. And
not bad.
A finish. That is a goal that is worthy of winning the derby, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, it was a tight match. I just felt that middle of the park was where Hearts managed to get the foothold and get the upper hand. Yeah,
fantastic strike from Ollie Lee. In terms of Hibs as well, the numbers game at the back for them not really adding up.
Well, it didn't, because what it ended up being was a back 3 against 1 striker. You see the back 3 in place there. Here's Sean Clare going to close down from the left midfield position, but they're very easily contained there, Hibs. You see Ollie Lee on the right hand side going to close down, and then Hibs just dump the ball forward because they're outnumbered in the middle of the park. They weren't able to play through the thirds like Hibs want to play. Again, you see the 3 against 1 at the back. It means in the middle of the park Hibs are outnumbered. There's too many bodies in there for Hearts, outnumbering Hibs. They can't win the second ball, and again forced back the way constantly, and they never got that forward momentum in the game, Hibs. You see this one, back 3 in play. Stephen Naismith on his own, able to charge and close them down. Midfield outnumbered yet again. Loads of space for Paul Hanlon, but then there's no real effort to go and commit players. And for a 5-minute spell in the second half, Neil Lenny changed it to a back 4 and a diamond at midfield. And that, for me, would have been the key to trying to get back into the game, because it meant extra bodies in there. They could compete for second balls and get themselves further up the park. You see Stevie Mallon eventually winning a free kick here. But then he reverted back to a back 3 when he made a substitute just a few minutes later. It was a real problem, because there's no point in having 3 against 1 at the back.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered in the middle of the pitch, and that's where it really made the difference in the game.
Neil Lennon says he needs new strikers in January, Tomo. Ends up with Stephen Whittaker having to hit a shot, ends up on the post. How did it stay out?
This is as close as it gets. This is an unbelievable hit, but that could be the save of the season from Colin Doyle. Absolutely outstanding. Full stretch, fingertips. I mean, it's a wonderful strike from Whittaker, but that touch there is just absolutely sensational from Colin Doyle.
Would new strikers solve the problems Hibs have, Michael?
Personally, I don't think. I mean, there's no doubt that the Hibs strikers are not firing on all cylinders at the moment, but I don't think it's a case of replacing them and finding better, because I think they've got good strikers. The issue at the moment is the supply. The midfield, the quality they've lost in there is undoubted. I still think they've got quality in there, but they need to add to that. That's the key position for me.
Great win for Hearts as well, Stephen. Just how hopeful should Hearts fans be in 2019, do you feel?
Well, yeah, they've come out of a wee sticky period, back-to-back wins, and you know, they're not far away at the top end of the table. I think once they get their injured players back into the team as well, yeah, they should be hopeful, very.
OK. Of course, we can't talk title race without mentioning Kilmarnock these days. Steve